Hi, welcome to this new video tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to knit the Picot Bind Off, and I have used this bind off in my easy Now Shawl, and you can see it's a really sophisticated border. It gives an extra special touch to the end of your project, to a bind off, and you can actually substitute every bind off with a Picot bind off. Just be sure you need a little bit of extra yarn and you need a little bit of extra time, because this bind off is more time consuming than a regular bind off. But it's worth the work because it's so pretty, isn't it? Amazing. It's a really special touch. Well, I'm going to show you now how to do this Picot bind off. We are starting the Picot bind off by binding off 2 stitches knitwise. So we knit the first stitch, we knit the second, and we pass the first stitch over the next one. So this is the first one we've bound off, and this is the second stitch. And then it's important to bring back the stitch on the right hand needle to the left hand needle. Now we are going to use the cable cast on. We put the needle between the first and the second stitch on the left hand needle. We knit it and bring it back to the left hand needle, the new stitch, and we repeat that for the second cable cast on stitch. So in between the 2 stitches, knit and put it on the left hand needle. And now we start by binding off 5 stitches knitwise. So we knit 1 stitch, and we knit the second, and then we pass the first stitch over the next one. That was the first stitch bound off. That's the second stitch bound off. The third stitch, the fourth, and the fifth, and then we have the first picot on our right hand needle. Put back the stitch on the right hand needle to the left hand needle, and we start everything over again. So put the needle in between the first and the second stitch, knit and bring it back on your left hand needle, and then again between the first and the second stitch on your left needle, knit the stitch and put it back on your left hand needle. And now we start binding off 5 stitches knitwise again. So this is the first, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. And then we keep repeating this. So bring back the stitch to your left hand needle, and then again keep repeating this until the end of your work. Now you see 4 more stitches. So if I cast on 2 with the cable cast on method, I have 5 stitches left to bind off, so I can repeat the repeat again. So 2 stitches are made with the cable cast on method, and then we start casting off 5 stitches again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 will be the last one. And now we have a correct amount of stitches, but I'll also show you what happens if you don't have the right amount anymore at the end. So I'll pull back my needle and my stitches, and then I'll show you what happens when 2 stitches are left on your left hand needle, because now if I'd make 2 stitches with the cable cast on, I don't have 5 stitches to cast off. So now I'm just binding these last 3 stitches off knitwise. So I don't do any repeat, but I just knit these last stitches, bind off these stitches knitwise. So this is the last one. And then we cut the yarn and bring it through the last stitch on the needle. Make sure to leave a tail so you can work it later, and that's that. And then you are finished with the beautiful Picot Bind Off. And that was the Picot Bind Off. It's actually really easy. And if you want to try it out, maybe you want to knit the Easy Now Shawl. The pattern can be found on both Ravelry and my website, and I'll put all the links below the video. You can also watch my other videos in English. I sometimes make vlogs and I make a lot of tutorials for my patterns, and you can find my English playlist here. Happy knitting, and I hope to see you in another video soon. Bye!